I want to speak to Canadians across this country. As we debate the fight for a united Canada, we must remember that those who are choosing separation from Canada are not our enemies. They are our fellow citizens, family members, loved ones, business partners, neighbors, friends. Demonizing people who have lost hope in Canada is no way to restore it. Name-calling, fear-mongering, and ostracizing will only worsen and broaden the divide. A better way is to listen, understand, persuade, and address the easily solvable problems they are asking us to fix. Nor will threats work. We should not just tell Albertans how bad it would be to have separation. Let's instead talk about how great it can be if our country is truly united and respectful of Alberta. Just as I speak to Bloc Québécois members of Parliament every day on Parliament Hill, I will be speaking to Albertans on both sides of this referendum to hear their thoughts and to make the respectful case for Canada. The goal should not be to beat one another in this referendum. It should be to unite us all when it is over, to show our fellow citizens, all of them, that they belong in Canada, that they are a treasured part of our national family. We need a Project Hope, not a Project Fear. Hope that this province, within this country, can be the richest, safest, and most affordable place in the world. That its young can have the greatest opportunities in the world. And that making Alberta stronger within a united Canada should be a big part of our national project. Thank you. And now if I could speak to Canadians from other provinces. I encourage you now more than ever to reach out to Albertans. Tell them how much you appreciate and love them. Really listen to them and support their ambitions, because our destinies are intertwined. One for all for one. The whole of Canada should now wrap its arms around Alberta and its people. At the same time, we should reignite our patriotism. No more tearing down statues, libeling our heroes, or canceling our history. We must bind this country together with the love of our common history, our common achievements, our common heroes, and our common belief that this is the best country anywhere on earth. We must be a country that sings its songs, tells its stories, and waves its flags. Alberta is at the heart of those stories, those songs, and that flag. And now, a message to my fellow Albertans. Let me speak directly to you. In the midst of our legitimate complaints, let us not forget what we have here and what we've built together. You know, sometimes in life we forget what we have. We sometimes take for granted the things that have always been around. But I tell you, look around the world. Where else would you really rather live? Canada's a very special country and a very rare one. It took 800 years of evolution from the time of the Magna Carta to the present to develop our democracy. The Magna Carta being the first ever law designed to restrain the government rather than to restrain the people. Did you know that Canada is actually the fourth oldest democracy on earth? We have solid foundations. There is a reason why millions of people from around the world leave behind their ancestral homes, families, jobs, and countries to flock here. There is a reason why millions more would come if they could. And that reason is that there is no better country anywhere on planet Earth than Canada. Sure, we can and should complain about our government. But Canada is more than a government. It is a land, a flag, a common defense, laws, borders, folklore, stories of heroes and hardship, a promise passed down from those who came before, upheld by those here now, and handed to those who come next. A promise is what the country offers all of us. It's a promise of a government that is servant and not master. A promise of free people, free speech, and free markets. a promise of meritocracy, not aristocracy, a promise that anyone from anywhere can achieve anything, a promise for which the soldiers, sailors, and airmen of Canada sacrificed, a promise that is precious and rare. Making Canada was hard. Before we risk it, let us remember the Albertans who sacrificed to provide this inheritance, the people who, through hardship and heroism, never gave up on Canada, the brilliant engineers and roughnecks who extracted the miracle molecules out of muddy bitumen to power our lives. They never gave up, so we should never give up. The traders who followed the winding rivers across the unmapped prairies to build the lonely forts which would become our future cities. They never gave up, and neither should we. The pioneers whose calloused hands plucked the weeds and moved the rocks to turn raw dirt into fields of golden grains. They never gave up, and we should never give up. The mothers who fought starvation so their babies would survive the Great Depression and the Prairie Dust Bowl. They never gave up, so we should never give up. The Cree code talkers from Alberta who saved countless Canadian lives during the Second World War, relaying battle plans in their language to outsmart Nazi interceptions. They never gave up, so we should never give up. The veterans at the Wainwright Legion who told me that I should do as they have done, which is to fight for Canada and never give up. The warriors who built this Legion and haunt its halls. And the brothers that did not return, they never gave up, and neither should we. The Canada for which they died is the Canada for which we must live. Thank you very much.